If you're at all familiar with the beautiful fabrics and clothing made from Thai silk, then you no doubt know the story of Jim Thompson, the American who almost single-handedly revived Thailand's silk industry and then mysteriously disappeared in Malaysia 30-odd years ago. His Thai house on the banks of a canal in the center of Bangkok is now a museum, immortalizing his work and love of Asian arts. But the house and a 250-year-old Muslim community, where some of Thompson's original silk weavers lived, are in danger of disappearing themselves. This is a familiar scene in Bangkok. Traffic, lots of it. And for drivers like Ratchada, getting around on the city's roads can be a challenge.
So I know everywhere in Bangkok where is it, and also what time the traffic is bad or what time the traffic is good.
And that's what the Express and Rapid Transit Authority, or ETA, wants, alleviating traffic congestion. But many fear the ETA's plans are going too far.
Last February, we received a letter from the ETA, which talked about expropriating part of the Jim Thompson land to build the last stage of the second stage expressway. And we were quite shocked.
Eric Booth has good reason to be shocked. He's the chairman of the James H.W. Thompson Foundation, which oversees the famous Jim Thompson House in the heart of Bangkok. He's trying to put a stop to planned construction of a massive expressway pillar practically in the heart of the house. It's hard to imagine when you consider that for people visiting Thailand, it's a must-see attraction, a unique example of traditional Thai culture and architecture.
This is not the typical Thai house. Jim Thompson built it in 1958. It's it's actually 6 Thai houses that were disassembled from around Thailand and reassembled here on this piece of property.
6 different homes.
Yes.
Okay. Can you show us what
Yes.
we have?
So I say it's not a typical Thai house because here you see it's a very European stairway that takes us to the house. Well, he has quite an extensive art collection. It's not the most important Asian art collection, even in Thailand, but if you look around you, it's really the way that he has displayed all the collections. So here we are entering the largest part of the house, which is the living room. You can see that it is many artifacts from Southeast Asia, but the way of living is very European. You see the furniture is in the European style.
Has this become a showcase for Thailand in lots of ways?
I believe so. After the Grand Palace in Bangkok, the Jim Thompson House is one of the most visited cultural sites. This year we expect over 140,000 visitors.
The Transit Authority's decision to build the expressway goes back to 1987. But no action was taken until February, when the ETA announced that the construction would go ahead in October. Do you know exactly where this pillar is supposed to go?
Yes, from the plan sent to us by the ETA, the pillar will be set right here in front of the living room on this terrace, and it will be about 8 meters wide and will completely block our view here.
The decision to build the expressway was made more than a decade ago. But for those affected, their history goes back not decades, but centuries. The project threatens not only the Jim Thompson House, but also a time-honored community located across the Kong. It's deceiving. This canal divides the Jim Thompson House and the Muslim community of Bangkok. But the two are inextricably one. It's here in Bangkok where Thompson revived Thailand's silk weaving industry. These Bangkok residents still carry on with their traditional craft. But they know all too well that their future and that of the Muslim community here can unravel any time. The ETA plans to build a 2-kilometer-long expressway access ramp right through this neighborhood. The road would split the old Muslim community and force hundreds of households to relocate elsewhere.
We will never let that happen because our ancestors were the volunteers for the army for King Rama I. He gave us this land. How can we leave?
No one can question how deep the roots of the community are. Here lies the cemetery of Bangkok's ancestors, and next to it, a school for more than 100 Muslim children. And next to that, the community mosque. Andy Sarate gives us a tour of the maze-like neighborhood. Were you actually born in this district?
Yes, 13 years ago. 1,200 houses in this community.
Bangkok's residents have attended public meetings with the ETA on the matter. None of the discussions was fruitful. ETA staff have tried to come into the Bangkok community to survey the land. So far, their visits have been stonewalled. Andy shows us why.
In the past, some people from ETA at noon try to come to this community. We have closed the door and use this locking the door and the key locking.
The residents have rejected the ETA's offers of compensation and relocation. Their resistance has put the expressway project in limbo and in the red. So it's no wonder the residents fear the ETA will eventually evict and forcibly remove them. No doubt many hope a solution lies in their calls to Allah and in their prayers. But in reality, the answer lies somewhere in the topsy-turvy world of Thai politics. And ironically, for this time-honored community, time has so far been on its side. It's a political and financial catch-22 situation for all the parties involved.
Well, by November, we are supposed to move out. Again, it's not such an easy situation for everybody. So we believe there'll probably be a few more delays, but by next year, with the new government, the decision will be made. And there's a contract that was signed many years ago between the government and the contractor to build the expressway. So if the expressway is not built, then there will be a considerable compensation that the government would have to pay the contractor.
It's understood the ETA's inability to expropriate the land for the expressway has so far caused losses of 20 billion baht. As the dispute continues, so do worries that the sounds of jackhammers will soon pierce the tranquility of this monument to Thailand's cultural heritage. The foundation says it may fight the ETA in court, and if it loses, the jury is already out over what would happen to one of Bangkok's landmarks.
We've spoken to architects to see if the house can be disassembled and moved somewhere else and reassembled. But most architects say that it will be a very difficult task if the ETA goes on with their plans to build the last portion of the expressway. I think it would be the end of the Jim Thompson house.
Well, the ETA rejected Focus Asia's repeated requests for an interview for our story. The transit body, under its original agreement with the contractor, is supposed to hand over the land by next Wednesday.